If you want a bike that looks modern, can go fast, is agile in the corners, and can be used as a daily motorcycle, then you probably want a naked motorcycle. Launched back in March 2019 here in the Philippines as the newest most compact member of the MT series, the Yamaha MT-15 delivers aggressive looks and solid features, definitely high-end in its category. But at a price of 159 Philippine pesos, is it worth it? Well, after 2 years of owning, riding, maintaining the bike, yes. I bought my MT-15 in cash brand new for 159,000 Philippine pesos in the middle of 2019, which means this bike has been with me for 2 years now, which also means that this is the BS4 model. And within those 2 years, my mileage is at 16,000 kilometers or 10,000 miles. My bike's color scheme is in matte blue for the body and neon green for the rims. I only use this bike solely for daily riding around the city. I usually ride my bike at around 2,000 to 4,000 RPM daily for efficiency purposes, of course, but if I want to have some fun on the weekends, I usually ride it at around 7,000 to 12,000 RPM. I only modify 2 things here in my MT-15, which are, number 1, I added an instrument cluster protector. Why? Because some riders say that the instrument cluster of the MT-15 gets scratched easily, and I don't want to risk something as important as the instrument cluster to get. Second, I changed the handle grip of my MT-15 from a stock into a Pro Taper because I love how the yellow combines with the gold forks and the rear monoshock, and I love how it feels and how grippy it is. When I started looking for a motorcycle, I wanted a motorcycle that can be fun to ride in the city and in the open roads. After a long time of research, I decided that I wanted to have a naked bike. I went to a lot of dealerships like Yamaha, Suzuki's, Hondas. When I saw the MT-15, I tried on it and it makes me feel comfortable. Especially when buying a motorcycle, it should make you happy. And it is. It makes me very happy whenever I ride it and whenever I look at it. So, hello there guys. I forgot to record this, the looks, so instead of being a lazy ass person now, I'm going to tell you everything. Whenever I'm looking for a bike, I always go for the best looking one. The MT-15 styling fits in with all of Yamaha's MT or Master of Torque series, and it's extremely sharp looking. As I told you earlier, that's the reason why I love it, is because it's sharp looking, and it looks aggressive, all sharp lines and angles, fitting the bill of its tagline, the dark side of Japan. It's basically a miniaturized version of the MT-09, of course the 2020, because the new one looks like shit. Overall, the bike has very little bodywork, the engine isn't all that exposed, and it's silver in color. As far as dimensions go, of course, the MT-15 was conceived a proper street naked bike, which means it's built to take crowded, traffic-infested city streets or weave through narrow roads. So this meant the bike should be small or compact so it's easy to maneuver through traffic, which is not good for taller riders. Now, let's talk about the engine of the MT-15. The bike gets the best engine that Yamaha has to offer in the 150cc category. The MT-15 borrows directly from Yamaha's racing heritage through the R15. Yes, that's the same single-cylinder, fuel-injected, liquid-cooled engine in a different style. And it will reach max horsepower of 19.3 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and peak torque of 19.7 Newton meters at 8,500 RPM. Because of its sporty engine, the MT-15's power delivery is awesome. The engine is torquey and very quick. There's hardly any delay between a throttle and the engine's response. I love how the acceleration gets you through tight spots quickly, even for sudden situations. I also love the deep tones of the idling engine because it's not the loudest nor the quietest. Here's a sound check. The ergos of this bike are excellent for a street fighter or naked and a commuter because you sit in a sporty yet comfortable riding position. The seating position is upright and the handlebars are upright, making it comfortable for daily riding. What I notice is that the bars are a bit wider than other commuters and that the rear set foot pegs will always remind you that it's a sporty bike because it came from the R15. The lack of a fairing translates to unhindered visibility, which will make it easy to filter through traffic. The mirrors of the MT-15 are quite generous and very sporty, and I like it. Yamaha launched this bike as a sports naked, which means the seat padding is a bit narrow for better road feel, while this translates for discomfort for taller riders, 6 foot and above. It's a nice trade-off for us shorter riders because especially given the seat height at 31.88 inches or 810 millimeters. As you can see, I can comfortably straddle the bike with one flat foot and a tiptoe for both, even though I'm only 5'6" or 167 centimeters tall. What I love with this bike as well is that the seat is grippy and wide. Gripping the tank is not a problem for smaller riders because the narrow seat and the high tank position, but it's a, the taller ones may feel cramped. I also heard that many people talk about how uncomfortable the pillion seat is, but it's quite comfortable. Hey, camera girl, is it comfortable for you? What's that? Okay. She said it's comfortable, and some people say that whenever you have a pillion seat behind you, it's very uncomfortable, but for me, I don't have any problems at all, and that's my opinion. The defining aspect of this little Yamaha is the way it handles. The bike is very light and nimble, and one can flick it through corners thanks to its wide handlebars, a very light curb weight at only 304 pounds or 138 kilograms, rear set foot pegs, and Yamaha's Delta box frame. It's an extremely well-balanced bike requiring very minimal input. This incredible sensitivity, however, paired with wide tubeless tires, makes it very easy to tackle corners quickly and predictably, without having to fear any sudden loss of traction. The setup also lends to itself, so you can cruise at highway speeds without any problems at all. Many features support the MT-15's premium price. The 41mm upside down forks or USD forks and the link type monoshock setup offer the right balance between ride and handling. Both front and rear brakes are hydraulic discs for better performance and response, and they add more than decent braking power, which is very good. But the problem with these brakes is that they don't have ABS. Unlike in India where they have single channel ABS, here in the Philippines we don't have any ABS at all, which means if you're a beginner and, well, if you're a new rider, if you're going to press it hard, really hard, you're definitely going to break both of them. You're going to lock them both, I mean. And so once you buy this bike, make sure to take time in order to study the skidding points. Lights are LED in the rear and the headlight, except for the signal lights, which are bulb type. Once you turn the bike on, as you can see, wait a minute, the twin LED position lamps now look like an MT-09. And the projector doesn't turn on until you start the engine. This is the projector, and let's start the engine. Forgot to put it in neutral. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. Now it doesn't look like an MT-09. The instrument panel is fully digital with a gear indicator, shift light, time, tracking for 2 trips, trip A and trip B, speed, gear position, fuel consumption, and average speed. The instrument cluster is a negative display that provides proper visibility at pretty much every angle. And the negative display also gives, it really feels like the dark side of Japan. This bike has VVA, or variable valve actuation, which gives a good top end as well as a good low end in the rev range. So whenever you're riding in the city, the bike behaves like a normal 150cc commuter because there's a good amount of low end torque to move in stop and go traffic. And as you hit the highway, the bike can pull in almost 12,000 RPM in each gear, thanks to the VVA. Also, the clutch gets slip and assist, and it's extremely light and you can move in traffic with no problems at all. Secondly, the slipper clutch comes handy for beginners when they downshift, because it does not lock up the rear wheel in extreme downshift. As a whole, you have a daily commuter which can filter through traffic without effort, but it also has the power to go on the highways with no problem at all. The bike gives a decent mileage of 30 to 40 kilometers per liter in the city or traffic, but on the open roads, it gives an average of 40 to 50 kilometers per liter. The bike has a 10-liter fuel tank capacity, which means you can ride this bike for, in my experience, from 300 to 500 kilometers. And of course, it depends on how you ride, whether you ride at high RPMs or low RPMs. So I forgot to record this video as well because it's currently raining and I have to release it tomorrow because 10 a.m. GMT plus 8. Let's start. So maintaining the bike, I don't have any problems with it. So, okay, there's no problem and the maintenance is excellent. Why? Of course, it's a freaking Yamaha, and Yamahas are known to be the most reliable. I only did 3 services with Yamaha in my dealership, which is, I'll show it to you, but it's here. This one is for the first week. No, not first week. Oh, bruh. Okay, for first service, 500 kilometers to 1,500 kilometers, or 0 to 30 days or 1 month. Next is for the second service, which is 31 to 90 days or 3 months, or 1,501 kilometers to 4,500 kilometers. And the last one is for the third service, which is 91 to 180 days or 6 months, or 4,501 kilometers to 7,500 kilometers. And from that point on, because the warranty only lasts 1 year, and I didn't do the whole year because COVID, like in the middle of the year, and then next year, right, at that time it's COVID time, and I don't want to risk it. So, and I also trust the bike because, as I told you earlier, it's very reliable, so no problems at all. And of course, thanks to the guide of, wait a minute, nope, it's the Harley. Here. Oh wait, it's okay, it's here. I already prepared it. Here it is. It's the periodic maintenance, so I can use this as my guide, and of course, thanks to my father, because my father taught me how to do it. So overall, it's very reliable. In terms of washing the bike, it's incredibly easy and simple. You just wash it with water and soap. No problems at all. It's very easy to clean. But there's one problem with it. I hate it whenever I clean my neon rims. Why? Why? Because it's so hard! Look at this! It's so dirty! I already put a lot of soap and nothing happens! And this is so dirty. Come here. It's so dirty. Is it dirty? Yes, it is. And it's I hate how it looks. That's why if you're choosing a bike, don't choose bright colors if you hate cleaning like me. In conclusion, the Yamaha MT-15 is a worthy addition to the MT series. It's a bike that it pleasantly combines commuting and racing. The engine is an absolute gem, of course, thanks to its variable valve actuation, or VVA, that makes it perfect for top end and low end power. And slip and assist clutch, and also the Delta box chassis. All of which combine to make the MT-15 an incredibly fun, involving motorcycle. That's why I bought it in the first place. Also, the upright riding position makes it a vastly kinder motorcycle to live rather than the R15. And also, the engine, you know, everything is great about it. Is it worth $159,000? Yes, it is, because you get a Delta box frame. It looks killer. It is killer. The engine is killer. The features are killer, but there's only one thing I hate about this. No ABS. Come on, Yamaha. Give us at least single channel here in the Philippines. And the engine is reliable. It's all good, except for that ABS. And by the way, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to press the like button, and if you really want to follow me on my journey of loving motorcycles, well, make sure to press the subscribe button. And then once you press the subscribe button, press the notification bell, and then once you check, you can choose anything from none. Don't press none, please. Press either, is it personal, and then all. Thank you.